You're listening to Hotepish with your host, Dwann B. Intelligent ish talk, intelligent shit talk, where we balance the profound with the profane. Political satire, celebrity and expert guests, information and entertainment, conversation and solutions. Leave your feelings at the door. You're listening to Hotepish with your host, Dwann B. Intelligent ish talk, Intelligent Shit Talk, where we balance the profound with the profane. Political satire, celebrity and expert guests, information and entertainment, conversation and solutions. Leave your feelings at the door.
Leave your motherfucking feelings at the door. I put that in there on purpose, especially for you grown-ass men that think I give a fuck how you feel. Yes. Thank y'all. Welcome to Hotepish Intelligent Ish Talk. Intelligent shit talk. Hold on, let me close this window. I had to close this window. My neighbor is a woman, but damn, she smelled like a room full of granddaddies, if you know what I mean. When she come outside, like, God damn, how do I smell your body odor, woman? So I had to make sure I closed my window so I could bring you guys a nice peaceful broadcast, so I don't smell my neighbors, her man funk. Back to what we talking about. Yeah, leaving your feelings at the door. Telling you niggas, man. And yes, I use the word niggas for you people who don't like that word. That's your problem. Leave your feelings at the door. Everybody ain't gonna do things the way you want them all the time. Question is, are you a person of substance? Can you extract some substance from things you may not like the way it's presented? And some things are presented in a way you just can't listen to. That's fair also. Just go somewhere else. But if you're gonna stay around and complain, I don't ever get women complaining about anything on this show. Till this day, over a year now I've been doing this, I have zero complaints from the women. It's the men. Oh my God, no. You shouldn't use the N-word. Oh, Dwann, you work with kids, why do you have to cuss? This is the men. That's why I'm having this broadcast today. Cause niggas, we tripping right now. Not all of us, but those of us who ain't. Nigga, we gotta bring awareness to this pandemic we going through with manhood these days. Shouts out to the chat room. Don Philly, Darrell James, King Costra. Shouts out to y'all, Brandon, Mickey Knox. Thank y'all for joining. Look, damn, I'm looking here. I already got a comment. I'm watching the NFL, especially since you get to watch the NBA. Shut the fuck up, you dumbass nigga. This is a dumbass comment. This whole show is about how black men specifically got together and said, we about to protest. And without receiving anything, went right back. No one ever said they protested the NBA, you stupid shit. What's up, Lady B? What's up, Nico? Thank y'all for joining the chat room. Yeah, this is and this is also for the people who watch. Look, I put people who watch the NFL in two categories. You have those who understood what was going on, but they were like, look, I watch the NFL for my peace. That's how I unwind after a long week at work. I'm not really, yeah, it's fucked up what they did to Kaepernick, but, those cats kept watching the NFL, never stopped. To make it very clear, I have no problem with you. I have zero issue with the cats because everybody's not going to get on everything, Some people just like, look, man, leave politics out of it. And that's fair. Because I believe that. I believe if you're not a political person, then don't be a political person. Nothing's forcing you to be anything. I'm here to talk about those who fake and front. I'm here to talk about those who do what's popular just because it's popular. That's the kind of shit we need to get rid of in black male society. These pack rat niggas. Man, I guess it sound good, so yeah, I'm gonna do it because it sound good. That's not what a leader does, man. And as men, we're supposed to all be leaders. Everybody's not gonna be Martin Luther King. We ain't talking about leaders on that level. We ain't talking about leaders. You don't have to own a Fortune 500 company. We're not talking about leadership on that level. I'm talking about leadership on the level of leading yourself and your family. The people who you have an environment that you lead, children. You may not be with your baby's mother, but you have a child that you're leading. You may not have children, but you with a woman or you want a woman. You're going to have to show leadership capabilities and more than capabilities, you're going to have to actually lead. And leading starts with doing right by yourself. See, it's people who never was down with the protests. And a lot of people talk shit to these cats when they continue to watch the NFL. Man, I don't know what's wrong with them dudes, man. Don't they know we supposed to be protesting? I remember I knew this whole fake ass protest was gonna be done about a month into it. Probably about week number 3. By the third week of the protest, I saw a lot of Facebook and Twitter chatter over, okay, we protesting NFL, but what's next? People were saying we're protesting the NFL, but what's next? I heard a lot of people saying things like, I saw a lot of people saying things like, I don't know, like the protest doesn't have any leader. And that had me thinking, like, it was like, well, the leader is what Kaepernick is complaining about, and Reed and all those other, it wasn't just Kaepernick. And I'm gonna get on Kaepernick ass a little bit later. You wait for that part. I've done a whole show on that. So y'all, I've done shows on that in the past, but that was like when I had like half the subscribers I have now. So I'm sure most of you guys didn't hear that broadcast. So I'll get on Kaepernick. But it was a lot of what do we do nextism going on, and what's the message? Who's the leader? And I remember saying back in 2016, there is no leader. The leader is the message. The message is the NFL is mistreating black players. That's one. The other message was, in the wake of all of these shootings and killings going on in America, the message is, why I'm not going to play football. I'm not going to stand for the anthem. I'm not going to concede to your demands until we're, as a black people, are treated better. That was the message. So for the people running around talking about, I don't know what to do next. What do we do next? Until that shit change. At least that's what I thought. Just don't watch. And for me, I'm at the point now with the NFL. That's why I'm doing this shit right now. Season's about to start in 10 minutes, and I'm over here talking to y'all. I just came down to it. You know what? I'm not really even protesting the NFL anymore. I'm not. This is more about I'm not fucking with who don't fuck with me. And if you don't fuck with me, I'm not going to even spend the energy in protesting you. I'm just going to ignore you. You're no longer relevant. Now, will I watch, if I'm invited to someone's house to watch something, the Super Bowl, will I go? Probably, because I like social gatherings. Will I turn the game on if I ain't doing shit? And it happens to be one of those Sundays, ain't nothing going on. Will I watch a quarter of football? Probably. But overall, I don't fuck with football. Like, I used to be and it come from me, I had NFL Sunday ticket for 15 seasons in a row. Soon as I stopped playing, soon as I left the church, NFL, as a matter of fact, I got NFL Sunday ticket before I stopped playing the drums at church because I can go back and watch the quick play. But man, when I left the church and I stopped playing the drums at church, man, I had NFL League Pass. I used to fly to other cities to watch NFL games. I went to a Charlotte Panthers game. That tell you how much I used to fuck with football. I played left tackle, Westchester High School. I still get Madden. I just really love football. Now, when I saw all those things going on, and basketball, I don't fuck with basketball like that either like that no more. Like, there was never a protest around the NBA, but I've withdrawn 80% of the attention I give to the NBA. Because these are just modern day plantations. But at least with the NBA, they work with people and they don't just come out and say what the NFL did. The NFL was bold back in 2016. I don't know if you remember, but they were like, look, yeah, we ain't got no rules against you saying you can't protest, but goddamn it, if you protest, you ain't playing. Remember Jerry Jones did that? And I was at one point in my life a Cowboys fan. I remember looking at them big ass players like, y'all really just let this dude punk y'all like that. Y'all let this old rotten liver spot looking motherfucker Jerry Jones punk you like that? I lost respect for these cats. I'm like, how can I expect these cats to compete and win the game that I put money on if they're gonna act like a bitch to this old rotten faced motherfucker? But the NFL in 2016, a lot of people followed Kaepernick's lead. A lot of people followed his lead. And me personally, when it came to the Kaepernick side of the game, I loved what he was doing. I really did. I still love what he did initially. But I knew, and I had Facebook posts about this during that season back in 2016. If you niggas make this whole protest about Kaepernick, this shit's gonna be done in 1 season, 2 seasons max. You can't make shit about people. You gotta make movements about the ideology undergirding the movement. What was the ideology? What were the chain of events that happened that led that person to start a protest? That's what you stay focused on. What is the message? What is the person protesting? What is the person standing up against? That's the leader, not the person. Let me say that one more time. The leader is the message the person is saying that you connect to, not the person. See, let me tell you something about people. People, we're just humans. We're just channels. I'm a creative. You know, comedy, music, all kind of shit. Oftentimes in stand-up comedy, you'll have comedians on opposite coasts. One live in New York, one live in LA. They meet up somewhere, happen to be on the same show, and they tell somewhat of the same joke. Now these niggas is fighting and wanting to shoot each other, saying, you stole my joke. No, you stole my joke. That happens because ideas are out there in the ethers. And creatives collect them and channel them down here to earth. That's how the creative mind works. Nobody owns creation. Creation is just there. And we pick it up and channel it and bring it down. The problem is when people channel and bring that information down from the ethers to the people fall in love with the person and not the message. What's up, George? What's up, Star? What's up, Amir? That's where the people go wrong. You fall in love with the person and not the message. And the minute you fall in love with the person, snap, boom, bang, that person's gone, or that person changed ideologies, or that something happens to the person and the movement dies. That's why I say you don't turn people into leaders. It's dangerous for you, for us as a people. Some dangerous shit. Very dangerous. That's why I was saying last week on Craig Facts, nigga. Don't call me no. I don't consider Tariq a leader. I didn't consider Obama a leader, even when I voted for him the first time or second time I voted for him. I'm glad I didn't see him as leader, because if I would have been heartbroken when I stopped fucking with him. I never saw Malcolm X and Martin Luther King as the leaders. I've never seen Garvey as the leader, or Frederick Douglass, or Robert Smalls. They weren't the leaders. The message they were bringing to us is, and always will be, the leaders. If Malcolm's message was fuck hoes and eat candy bars, we wouldn't remember him now, 60 years later. If Martin Luther King's message was get money, smoke cigarettes, and bullshit around, we wouldn't remember him. The same way the kids will never remember Nelly, because Nelly wasn't talking about shit. The kids won't. Who the fuck is Nelly? He wasn't talking about shit. The kids know who Tupac was, though. The message is what's the leader. It's always the message. What's up, Dr. Sinister? It's always, always, always the message. So when people made Kaepernick the leader and not his message, I said, oh boy, here we go. It's only a matter of time now. This shit's about to be donezo, Alonzo. I knew that shit was done when they made it about Kaepernick. So Kaepernick, after the season, basically went silent. And when he went silent, that confused the people. Go back to Facebook 2017. It's a whole lot of, okay, yeah, I'm not really fucking with the NFL, but what are we gonna do? And I was saying, nigga, find something else to do. Shit, Sundays the day me and the wife, that's the day we go to wine country. We go to wine country, shit, we go to the beach. Anything we want to do, active, we usually do that shit on Sunday. Especially while the NFL is on, because the streets the freeways ain't crowded. Sundays are the days that part of the reason why this show jumped off the way it did last year was all of the energy that I put in. I used my Sundays to put in the energy that was necessary to push this show on. I want to thank y'all because I was looking at a Facebook post September 11th last year. My Facebook post was up from 20 subs in June to 569 subs today. I was at 569 subs today last year. Not even at 600 subs. And I said my goal is to be at 6,000 subs within a year. If I can get to 6,000 subs in a year, I'm going to be happy. Well, I got to 10,000. I thank y'all for that. A major reason I was able to do that last year was I started doing like interviews with like Judge Joe Brown and different people on Sunday. I'm not watching football, so I was dedicating Sunday to grinding on his YouTube, edit videos, take classes on how to become a better YouTuber. That's what the fuck I did on Sundays while the NFL was on. Shit. This NFL protest thing has been a blessing for me. My personal skills have gotten great. What's up, Chime? No, I don't have a super chat, but hit the Cash App right there on the bottom. Feel free to donate to the Cash App on this Sunday morning. Thank the Lord. Hear the music? That's my offering music. Feel free to donate to whatever. Cash App, DwannBrown. DWANNBROWN. Shouts out to Duncan Penderhughes for the new music. Let's go to church. But yeah. That's right, Jerry Pry. More energy for something else. Yeah, I'm right, Quan S. I manifested what I wanted and put in the work. Hell, I manifested more since the NFL protest 2016. In these 5 years, I manifested more putting in the work than I did my whole life at church praying for manifestation. Or that might be a little, I don't want to offend nobody that goes, if whatever your spiritual practice is, cool. I ain't, do what you do. I'm not here to tell you wrong. I'm not here to say I'm right. I'm just here to preach my story, goddammit. And in these last 5 years, I have not been watching the NFL on Sunday. What have I gotten since 2016? I've opened up breakthrough advocacy services. This is all because like a lot of the shit that I'm doing right now, and I'm gonna get back to NFL, but I wanna first talk about what I've done with my time since turning the NFL off. And these were all ideas that were on my mind. Some of these were ideas that were on my mind more than 10 years ago. But I was always on that, I'm going to wait till tomorrow. See, the Achilles heel of church, like, I'm not here to shit on church. But the Achilles heel of church is church puts you in a perpetual state of waiting. Church makes you look at the past and say, God, thank you for me not getting fucked up in the past. And God is going to do something for me in the future. But it never deals with the now, the present. And the only thing we got is the now and the present, right now. We don't even have 2 seconds from now. 1, 2. Now we do. I waited 2 seconds. You get it? That was corny. Back to what I was talking about. We don't have the future. And the past is something that we can learn from. The past is there to learn from, good, bad, or indifferent. But the church keeps you in a perpetual state of looking in the past and looking in the future, but never dealing with right now. So when I left the church, it took me a while to recalibrate my mind because I had been going to church since I was 3. A lot of y'all people, and I get it because I saw it, most people that went to church as a kid, when you turned 18, you stopped going to church. Most people did, whether it's because they got a job or went to college, or they were like, I'm 18 no more, now my mama can't force me to go. A lot of people leave the church between 18 and 30. And during that time, people go through life's transitions, good and bad, and then they get back in the church about 35, 40. That's generally how the church thing works. And when things go bad, they go back to the church about 35, 40. I'm nothing but a sinner. No, you just had some experiences that we all go through in our 20s and 30s to learn from. You ain't no sinner. But back to what we talking about. When I left the church, and my wife helped me out with a lot of this. Like, you got to deal with the present. You got to deal with now. And working in mental health was always about dealing with now. So when the protest came, I was like, you know what? I had been a few years removed from church, living in the past and the future, and I started dealing with now. And since 2016, I've started this show. Y'all see the website. You know what I mean? Get the merch. I wrote a book. All this merch here is something I've created out of my mind. I have a graphic designer that helps me out. Well, that Hotepish logo, that was all me. I created that shit on Canva. And I trademarked it. That logo was all me right there. I trademarked that shit. And this t-shirt right here, this is the only one I designed. The rest of them, called up my man Joe Fox, put it together. I wrote a book, came up with a podcast, got a t-shirt line. I opened up my other company, Breakthrough Advocacy Services. I saw the avenue to open up this company back in 2012, 2013. But I was always in a perpetual state of, I'm going to do it tomorrow. Man, I don't have the money. Or I do it now, I got the money. Man, I got the money, but I got to spend it on that, not this. You know, all the bullshit we put up in our minds. So I said, you know what? We protesting. Let me dig my cleats in the grass, football reference, and let's just make this shit happen. I stopped praying that one day God will make a better way. Jesus, take me from this job. Lord Jesus, you know this job is stressful. I need you, Lord, right now. I pray for you. You pray for me. I need you to survive. That was one of the songs that we sang at my church. I'll be on the drums, getting it in. Well, that's enough. Look, let me stay on subject. I was always praying, wishing, and hoping and dreaming. And when I left the church, I said, man, fuck all that hoping and dreaming. I'm just going to do it. And since then, look at the reviews that I get on my webinars. I'm not no fraudulent ass nigga just sitting behind on the internet. I do this. But back when I was in the old wait for Jesus to help me out days, back when I was in those days, all this shit stayed ideas. Back when I was letting the NFL buy my time one game at a time. All this shit was conceptual. Oh, and I got more. These just the two websites. Instance and Ashtrays is being built right now. Let's see how far my web designer has gone. Let's see how far he's gone. Oh, he's building it. He's building it. I own this. See, instanceandashtrays.com is being built right now. Ooh, this shit gonna be nice. This shit gonna be nice. Yeah. I've worked to the point to where now my wife don't have to work. What? I used to be at my last job hoping and wishing and praying. Man, I just need to get some more money. And one day when I do this, and one day when I do that. That's another thing, fellas. If you got a woman, you can't be running your mouth all the goddamn time, because women, they watch you and listen to you. With a woman, you got to show and prove. You can't just be talking about one day I'm going to do this and be saying that one day story 10, 20 years later. Nigga, one day got to be today at some point. Nigga, but I worked to the point to where, nigga, my wife ain't got to work no more. That's what happens when you get off your ass. And that's why I wrote the book. Get that book today. This is my personal story on how it worked for me. What's up, Bug Shelton? What's up, Jayla? You're right, Magnetic. Christianity was designed for slaves. You're right. So the word, yeah, that's right. That's right, Quan. That's the word this Sunday is whatever you want to do, get off your ass and do it. And don't be distracted one game at a time, one TV show at a time, one video game at a time, one YouTube video at a time, one TikTok at a time. It's good to have all these things. And if you're one of those people who was always down with watching the NFL and you weren't part of it, and you see the NFL does what it does, that's just your form of entertainment. Again, I'm not talking about you. People say, why don't you protest the NBA? And that's a very fair point. That's a very fair point. Me personally, I don't spend money with the NBA. I watch games. I don't watch ESPN. I don't watch Fox Sports. I don't watch none of those pre-game shows, post-game shows, halftime shows. I watch games when I have the time, and I watch 80% less basketball games than I used to. Oh my God, I used to watch 4 to 5 games a day. NBA League Pass. TV on mute, me listening to music and watching them play, diagramming plays. But because at the end of the day, the NBA is just as racist as the NFL. The NFL ain't no more racist than the NBA. This is how I look at the two. The NBA and the NFL is like the Democrats and the Republicans. I was playing in the background of my original track. You're not going to find this nowhere else. Salute to Duncan and Pender Hughes. But the NFL and the NBA are like the liberals and the conservatives, the Republicans and the Democrats. The NFL is more like the Republicans. We racist and fuck you for asking. The NBA is a Democrat-style racist. We'll give you black leadership. You want a black coach? Here you go. We'll even give you a black owner. One. and make sure he's a certified one, because when Bob Johnson owned the Charlotte Bobcats, he couldn't get no backing by the city of Charlotte is backed by banking. He couldn't get no sponsorship deals until he sold that shit to Michael Jordan. And the NBA is just as racist. You can't. When Iverson came in with them cornrows and baggy jeans, and then they saw their clean boy Kobe do it, follow Allen Iverson's lead, they said, "Oh hell no, we need a suit policy." The NBA, I'm not saying this as a way to say the NBA is better. I'm not. Again, this broadcast, and I'm gonna circle back to my original point at the end, like I always do. What I'm talking about today is the men in our society not finishing what they start, not being true to their word, not standing 10 toes down. If you're not serious about doing it, just shut up. Nothing wrong with shutting up. There's nothing wrong with just being like, you know what? I don't really understand what y'all doing, or I don't give a fuck what y'all doing. I'm gonna do me over here. I've never had an issue with those type people. It's the rah-rah niggas I'm talking about. Yeah, nigga. Yeah, they wrong, man. Yeah, nigga, we need to do this, man, and fuck the NFL. Yeah, nigga. Nigga, man, these motherfuckers ain't shit, man. Fuck Roger Goodell, man. 2 years later, what time the 49ers and the Raiders play? Fuck out of here. I'm tired of you Jay-Z ass niggas. I appreciate the Cash App, Alonzo. Appreciate the Cash App, Demetrius. I appreciate that. Because remember, Jay-Z, what he was talking about, man, we need Kaepernick back, or we can't get with the NFL. Motherfucker Jay-Z told Jermaine Dupri, hey, don't do that NFL kickoff pregame show. We protesting the NFL. We protested. And then the next year when the Jay-Z got offered the bag, look at young Hove. Look at young Hove. Sitting with Roger Goodell. This nigga stole Jermaine Dupri's job like he still Biggie lines. And you Jay-Z dick riding niggas, y'all gonna accept anything this nigga do. Well, he's Hove. You would do the same if you were Hove. Hove gets to do that. It's this kind of shit that I got a problem with. Everything is all bad. We gonna protest until I get the bag. Now, when I get the bag, we're beyond kneeling. That's Jay-Z. That's Jay-Z. Jay-Z has moved past kneeling. And let me tell you something. I never liked kneeling to begin with. The fuck you kneeling for, nigga? Stand your ass up. Chin up. Or during the national anthem, sit down comfortably on the bench. Those NFL benches are nice and comfortable. Sit back and drink some Gatorade. Matter of fact, kick your feet up. Or if it's hot in the stadium, I was for the players running over there. You know, they would have those big old air coolers during the national anthem. Just run over and stand in front of the air cooler so you can, because it's hot out there. I mean, that helmet is hot. You know, do some stretching. You know, review some videotape of your opponents. Run over some game plan. The fuck you kneeling for? I ain't like the kneeling part because Kaepernick, that was suggested to Kaepernick by a white player. What was that white dude's name? What was that dude's name that here it is. Browser share. The fuck? Yes, it was another player, Nate Boyer. Yeah, like Marshawn Lynch. Marshawn Lynch used to sit his ass down. Yeah, Nate Boyer. Who is Nate Boyer? Let's look him up. I know who he is, but I just want to. So, let's look this up. So this is the guy who told Kaepernick how to protest. Right here. This cat. Question. How can you be told how to protest? Ain't the whole point of protest maximum disruption? Maximum disturbance to the system being protested? Ain't that the point of protesting? How you gonna listen to someone from the dominant society tell you how to protest? What kind of shit is that? Yeah, I know he was a Marine. I know he was a serviceman, but what the fuck? Okay, what does that mean? And? The Tuskegee Airmen were servicemen. They still came back to America, got spat on. One of my cousins over in Texas fought in World War II, came back just to get shot by the police on a lone dirt road down in Central Texas. Those 20,000 black soldiers that fought for the Union that were asked to go down to Natchez, Mississippi and got locked in the Devil's Punch Bowl, ended up dying of starvation and disease after being tricked and told they were going down there to get paid. They were servicemen. The fuck a serviceman got to do with anything? I give the honor and respect to military personnel that my black people get for being military personnel. Hell, in World War II, do you know that black people couldn't even eat in the mess hall with the Germans? I mean, with the Americans? The white Americans were eating with the Germans, the people that they were killing. having lunch together, I'm going to shoot your plane down tomorrow. Kind of shit going on. Well, I don't give a rat's ass if somebody was a serviceman. I care as much about service folks as America cared about my black service. Look, let me tell you something, people. My family, I have family who's fought in literally every war in America. Sylvester, saying about you, I'm not going at you. I'm not going at y'all who's saying that. I'm just addressing the larger point of Nate Boyer being a serviceman, not directed at anybody in here. Let me make that very clear. I just saw the comment, but I didn't even see who wrote it. I just saw a serviceman. My family fought in the American Revolution, in the War of 1812, in the Civil War, in the Spanish-American War, in World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, Iraq, Afghanistan, and Iraq again. I got family that fought in all them hoes. That's why when they were going around talking about respect the servicemen, I was like, man, fuck out of here. America doesn't even respect servicemen. Do you know in 2001, just before the war started, just before the United States started to go back and bomb Afghanistan, President Bush, he cut the salaries of soldiers? Yeah, go look it up. 2001. Bush cut how much money soldiers got paid right before sending them off to war. America don't give a fuck about the veterans. Veterans go to war, come right back, get poisoned, and then live on the streets, homeless, because they have mental health issues because of the gas and shit that they was exposed to and the trauma of seeing people die. So instead of having a mental health facility set up around the nation, y'all give them the VA, put them through all kinds of hoops and hurdles to get proper treatment. And then when they wig out, you say, oh, they didn't want it. We have the services here. They just wigged out. Because you drove them fucking crazy at war. This country don't give a fuck about the military. So why should I? I'm not into symbolism. I'm into what the fuck we gonna do-ism. That's what I'm into. I'm into what the fuck is we gonna do about it-ism. That's what I'm into. What are we gonna do about it? That's what I want to know. So this is the man that told Kaepernick it's a better idea to kneel than it is to stand. Let me tell you something, people. Power does not respect weakness. Kneeling is some weak shit. Goodell never gave a fuck about no kneeling. Stevie Wonder had a song. I think it was on the Fulfilling This First Finale CD album. I forgot. I forgot what album it was on. It was called Frontline. That was from the original Musicarium. Frontline. They had me standing on the front line, but standing in the back line, in the back of the line, when it comes to getting ahead. That's a Stevie Wonder lyric from 1983. They on this album right here, the original Musicarium. They had me standing on the front line, but come home and have us standing on the back line when it comes to getting ahead. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because when black people protest about what's going on with us as a whole, we don't have any honor for the military. And this is no diss to those who served. But we don't have to respect what you say because you don't treat our black soldiers the same way you treat them. After World War II, what made the suburbs crack and what made the projects was how the soldiers were distributed. The projects were supposed to be temporary housing facilities for veterans coming back until they moved into more permanent housing. America was building up suburban America. If you were in LA, the San Fernando Valley was once an orange, big ass orange grove. They were knocking those oranges out, making houses. Other cities, y'all know y'all cities better than I do. I'm an LA nigga. Orange County, same thing. They started to build up Orange County in the valley. So when the white veterans came home from World War II, yeah, they may have gone to the projects, but they weren't in the projects more than a couple years before they got more permanent housing. See, white vets got free homes when they came back. Or they got homes like in planned communities like Levittown, Pennsylvania. That's where Bill O'Reilly's from. And in these planned communities, they can get a brand new home for $10,000, $15,000, honest interest rate, and the homes were fully furnished. If you were black, you didn't get a home. You had to go to the projects and stay there. The military's never done right by black people in the military. Never, never, never. So the military should never be in our consideration when we protesting some shit. Nope. Nope. Oh, what's up, Hood News? My nigga, Mr. Hayes. I hope you feeling better, my brother. Because I'm about ready to go back in the studio and I want you to film. Let me know when you're feeling all the way up to it 100%. I'm going to book some studio time and have you come down and film it. Salute to you, my brother. Hood News. Follow that channel, Hood News. Follow Hood News here in the chat room. Yeah. But the military don't respect us. They don't respect our servicemen. I personally respect our servicemen and women. Personally, I do. I respect them so much, I'm not willing to listen to what a white person in the military, and I ain't got no issues with individual white people. I ain't about that shit. I speak about this shit as a system. But if you're protesting something, you cannot have someone that's a member of the society that's oppressing you tell you how to protest. That's what I'm saying. Brad, we can be cool. I can smoke some weed with you, Dylan. But you ain't about to tell me how I should stand up. And then the nail in the coffin came when Colin Kaepernick signed to Nike. I knew it was over then. Because the way it works, the system will sign you and throw you a lot of money to shut you up. This was a win-win for Nike. Nike got a chance. They won an Emmy over the protest. Let's look how Nike won. When they came out with the Kaepernick shoe, the shit sold out on the first day. Nike got the perception of being pro-progressive. They took a gamble. Now, I will give them a little bit of credit, a little bit on the business side. This ain't got nothing to do with Kaepernick or black people. But on the business side, that was a very bold decision at the time. Because of how many conservatives that still watch football. It was like Nike spent that money at the risk of pissing off a lot of its conservative fan base. But they made the decision. And if they made that decision, that's because they've done the studies. These companies don't make decisions without doing studies. They done the studies and they saw that there was more on the liberal side to gain than it was on the conservative side to lose. Kaepernick earned Nike $6 billion. And this article was from 3 years ago. Imagine how much more they've made since then. This is from 3 years ago. In less than 1 year, Nike made $6 billion off the protests. And that's what happens when you anoint people like Kaepernick as your leader. When there's a leader, they can pick that person off like an interception. Oh, that's what you look. Oh, black folks. Oh, that's who you fucking with. Y'all fucking with Kaepernick? Okay. All right, Cap. Here's $100 million. Now shut the fuck up. While we make $6 billion off the $100 million we paid you. And then niggas will still turn around, watch the NFL, and look at a player and say, man, that player's overpaid, man. I don't see how they making all that money from just carrying the football or just shooting them. How they make all that money? Dumbass niggas don't ever ask how much money the sponsors are making, or the NFL is making, or the owners are making, or the commissioner is making. Cap ran his mouth, took the money, and shut the fuck up. Good for Cap. I'm glad he got his money. Make your money, homeboy. I'm putting this back on us as a people. Why was he following that nigga to begin with? We were talking about Alton Sterling, Tamir Rice, Corinne Gaines. We were talking about Trayvon Martin, Rodney King, Emmett Till. That's what we were talking about. But the media made it about Kaepernick, and motherfuckers followed suit. I'm looking at the chat room. Todd Campbell in the chat room has a question. What's your question, my brother? What's your question? That's right, Hostile Takeover, Aaron. Oh, what's up? My nigga Aaron in the building. Hostile Takeover. What's up, brother? I ain't see you in here. Till now. What's up, dog? Yeah, Todd Dollars, hit the like button. That's right, Aaron. The players didn't get the money. That's just more money for them because that money coming in. Oh, that money coming in. And players can't even get guaranteed contracts. Another reason why I stopped really fucking with the NFL, remember, you can't sneeze on Tom Brady. But the last time I was watching NFL, that's back when Cam Newton was still on the Charlotte Panthers. And I saw them whacking the shit out of Cam Newton. Same thing with Michael Vick. This was when Michael Vick was on Philly. It was like they opened up the line for this motherfucker to get body slammed. Niggas was hitting Michael Vick with the Jake the Snake Roberts DDT. No flag. Oh, but if you fall 2 inches away from Drew Brees' ankle, 87-yard flag. I'm watching the NFL like, you niggas don't see this shit? I don't know what Atlanta Falcons quarterback you're talking about. You got to tell me what Atlanta Falcons Todd Campbell. I don't even know what you're talking about, brother. But back when I used to watch, I remember that last season I watched was when Michael Vick was out there. And this motherfucker was getting hit 9 times. Michael Vick was falling to the ground. I saw people, no lie. I saw a turnbuckle come out of nowhere after Michael Vick got tackled. I saw a wrestling ring appear out of nowhere. The nigga jumped off the top rope and leg dropped that nigga. And the refs called a penalty on Michael Vick for landing on the ground too long. What the fuck? Get up, nigger. It didn't hurt that bad. Deshaun Watson, I don't know if you're paying attention, but I said I stopped watching football like that 5 years ago, so I can't speak on the Deshaun Watson situation. All I know is I've never seen Deshaun Watson play because since he's been in the NFL, I haven't been watching. But I heard he was really good. People tell me that Deshaun Watson was really good. The brother asked for a trade, and then out of nowhere, all of these accusers, represented by the same lawyer, had these accusations, but they never went to the police. So you draw your own conclusions when it comes to that. That's what happens. Mods, kick Joe Perez out of here. I don't want to hear about the goddamn live video for nothing else other than what I'm talking about. But I saw that Super Bowl that Cam was in. And I don't know, something happened to Cam before that game, because there was the Cam Newton before that Super Bowl, and there's the Cam Newton after that Super Bowl. After that Super Bowl, this nigga Cam Newton started dressing weird. This nigga started wearing these tight ass, yeast infection getting ass jeans. Yeah, that lawyer was like, I heard the owner of the Texans like neighbor or some shit. So, yeah, that's a good point you made in the chat room, Black Wealth Matters. We don't know enough about how watching sports is escapism. It is escapism. And like I said before, there's always time to unwind and relax. Everybody got some bullshit that they get into. Like Tower Power says on that song, Social Lubrication. Everybody's got their own way to get high. Some people get away by going to church. And some people get away by drinking liquor. Some people's vice is watching Atlanta Housewives. Some people's or reality TV. Some people's thing is basketball. Some people's is football. Everybody got some bullshit that they watch and get into. Just don't front. We do. It comes down to how much time do you spend on it. That's where the rubber meets the road. How much time do you spend in your bullshit is what matters. How much time you spend on the bullshit. If you watch some bullshit for a couple hours and get back to the business of building the life that you want for yourself and your family, no harm, no foul. But unfortunately for too many black people, we're not too responsible when it comes to sports. We're not. What do I mean by not responsible? I mean, you get the most passionate arguments from black men over who's your favorite NFL team, who's your top 5 rappers, who's the greatest basketball player of all time. We talk with more emotion around those 3 subjects than we do literally anything else. You don't see that kind of passion when it comes to seriously building business. I ain't talking about you niggas that talk about, one day I'm going to open up me a business. You know niggas on some bullshit when he say business. I ain't never seen a nigga that says business actually have a legitimate business. Anytime like I think about, yeah, we all got that lazy tongue, uncle. Yeah, one day when my check come through, I'm gonna go ahead and open up a business. Yeah. What kind of business you gonna open up, Uncle Harold? I think I'm opening up a soul food business, soul food restaurant business, you know. Yo, Aunt Katie, she got that recipe, you know what I mean? I think I'm gonna go ahead and open up that soul food business. I ain't talking about you niggas. Nigga Nino Black said, man, my manhood won't allow me to support the NFL. Nigga, real talk. That's some real shit right there. I'm on your vibration, Nino Black. I put my foot out there back in 2016. My manhood ain't gonna let me go back. But we don't have these same conversations around business, about how to get ahead. And that's one thing that's always made me and Craig so cool. Y'all know Craig from Craig Facts. Long before the show, man, me and Craig are both basketball holics. We both love that game. Craig played it at a higher level than me. I coached it at a higher level than him. But he played it at a much higher level than me. He actually went D1. I didn't. I went to Westchester High School with all them NFL, future NBA players. I said, fuck this shit. I think coaching might be my route. But out of all the 10 plus years I've known Craig, we don't talk about basketball like that. What y'all see right now, Craig Facts, and these products that y'all see him putting out, these TV like shows, the Big Head Craig, these is all conversation me and Craig would have 10 years ago. Before Roast Me, before 5150. We used to talk about, because I was the first one to get the podcast started, but I would start then stop, start then stop. Craig the same way. He would kind of start then stop. He would, because Craig, he drove that truck on the road. So I'm not talking to you guys about something that I think. I'm talking to you about something that I know and experienced. Craig and I, man, he'd be on that truck. I'd be like, Craig, when you get back, you got to get back to filming this and filming that. I remember he did roast me, then went right back on the road. I had to call and tell Craig how popular he was. I was like, Craig, nigga, you need to start a podcast. These motherfuckers is fucking with you on this roast me shit. And Craig be like, for real? I be like, nigga, the people love you. I see it. I see it in the comments. These niggas love you out here, Craig. Craig be like, man, I ain't shit. I'm out. Craig be somewhere in Boston delivering some shipment somewhere. What you see being born out of Craig Facts is because Craig and I would spend our time sharpening each other before you guys knew who we were. Craig calling me, you gonna be on stage tonight? Nah, man, I don't know. Man, get up. I'm gonna be at the Ha-Ha, man. Come on. And I get up out the house and go meet Craig up at the Ha-Ha. Watch him do 5 minutes of jokes. Niggas wait all goddamn day to do 5 minutes. And I'm sitting around, put my name on the list, hoping that someone bumped off so I can get on and do 5 minutes. That's what we was on this time 10 years ago. That's why me and Craig got so cool. That's the same thing with Craig and Jade. That nigga Jade played goddamn football for Cal. He played D1 football. But every time I saw Craig and Jade together, them niggas was on some business. The nigga Craig and Jade used to walk around looking like the Eminem twins. If you saw Jade, you saw Craig. If you saw Craig, you saw Jade. And we would all do my show on Monday nights at the Comedy Union. I saw them always on Mondays at my show. We all met around the same time, me, Craig, and Jade. But Craig and Jade be talking to Craig about doing sketches. Jade always had his camera in his hand. And this is a nigga who played semi-pro football. I think he played in the Arena League. Big Ja always had that camera in his hand. Big Ja be like, hey, Dwann, he's always trying to film a special. I'll edit it for you, man. Ja just wanted work. That's why our crew is doing what it's doing right now. Niggas is working. Yeah, Big Ja used to play football for Berkeley, and he played in an Arena League. Jade's a baller. But you don't hear him talking about that. That nigga was always talking business. So I've seen it happen firsthand. When we as black folks come together, and when you're on the right wavelength, you're going to attract that. But it requires you first to get on that. You got to be serious about your business. I had a whole totally different set of friends before I met Craig, Big Ja, Kamira White, all these people that I fucks with real heavy now. I had a whole different, and I'm still cool with my friends before them too now. Don't get me wrong. Like my childhood friends, my day ones, I'm still down with my day ones. But a lot of the cats that I was hanging out with in my 20s, in my early 30s, when I used to party a lot, I used to be in the nightclub 6 nights a week. Here in LA, partying like a motherfucker. All-Star weekend every year, whatever city it's in, I'm there. Got VIP treatment everywhere I went, because I just happened to know the right people all the time. Never had to pay to get in clubs, never had to wait in line, never had to buy a drink. I was always out there. But when I got serious about growing as a human, as a man, and really just being on my grind, I found Craig. I found Big Ja. I found Daphne Springs. She used to come do my shows early on. I gotta hit up Daphne. Man, last month she asked me to come back and do this show. She did this show before. I gotta get her back on here. But Daphne was always on her grind. Me and Daphne I hit her up. If y'all think I'm lying about having that Audi I used to have, back when I drove that Audi, shit, me and Daphne was always hitting these stages. I found these people. when my mindset changed first. You got to be willing to be totally alone. That's manhood. Going back to what we're talking about. Manhood is standing on your square. Now, if some other new information comes along that's legit true, you can change opinions. Ain't nothing wrong with changing opinions on things. But manhood is making a decision and sticking with it. The reason why the dominant society don't respect us as a group is because they know. Needy Fuller talks about this. All we gonna do is blow off a little bit of steam. And then when we done blowing off steam, give the niggas a show. Hire Jay-Z. Give them a show. They brought back in dancing in the NFL. Okay, now you can celebrate in the end zone. Give niggas a show, and we'll fall right back in line. That's what we've shown them time and time and time again. And that's exactly what happened with this NFL shit. That's right, Sylvester. United Independent Way. Shout out to Neely Fuller. But you got to be the change first. After you change, your environment changes around you. That's how it works. So a lot of black men went back to the plantation because they didn't know what to do next. The next question is, where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Again, if you're the kind of person who you never were a part of the protest, you just said, give me my football, get the fuck out of the way. Nigga, you keep doing you. I ain't got no issues with that. Again, I don't have any issue. If you feel like if you were at home one day, you just ain't doing shit, and you turn on a game, and okay, fine. I'm not judging people either way. My biggest thing is the attention and the energy we put behind it. That's where I am. These conversations that we have that go on and on and on. Raiders fans of this, Cowboys fans of that. My quarterback is better than your quarterback. That running back ain't shit. We would have won if that nigga hit a field goal. We got to minimize that. If you're going to watch the NFL, fine. I can't tell you not to. You got to follow your own consciousness. One thing about me, I don't believe in telling people how to do shit. I don't believe in telling people what to do. I believe in telling people to follow your own consciousness. But be smart within that consciousness. Spend as much or more time on your personal visions and goals than you spend arguing over a goddamn football game. If all the people you know can only talk sports, find some new friends. Before you find new friends, get in contact with yourself. Go inside yourself. Get real about what you want out of life. Pursue that. And if you have time left over to watch football, fine. And while you're pursuing that thing that's within you that you want to do, you will find new friends doing the same thing that don't have time for football. I promise you. My book talks about this, No Time to Waste. It's on my website, hotepish.com and breakthroughas.org. It's on both websites. and get the webinar along with it so I can explain the book to you. I'm with you, Ramon. Like, look, I'm not judging motherfuckers who's watching. You watching, but let's energy. Like, that's how I am with basketball. I know David Stern wasn't shit. I started pulling away from basketball back in 2012 when David Stern nixed that Chris Paul trade. Before then, I knew sports was BS, but when that happened, I started looking at the NBA like that, like I watch wrestling. Oh, okay, this is just a game. It's a game, but it's really a game. It's a game, not a competition like I thought. It's just a game. Winners and losers are predetermined. For him to nix it, Chris Paul to the Lakers, I was like, okay. So I don't spend money with the NBA at all. But I love the sport so much because I've always seen the sport from a strategic point of view that I watch the games. 99% of the time I watch the games with music playing or a podcast. I'm real good for watching the NBA, watching a Sunday 6 o'clock NBA game while listening to the Black Channel. Kind of what y'all doing with me right now. I fucks with it. I'm real good for listening to Jason Black at 6 o'clock live. Matter of fact, that's the only time I ever get in TBA's room is doing when basketball season's in. Usually I have to watch the replays. Like the only time I'm really in there live is like when basketball's on, he's broadcasting. I'm listening to what he's saying, and I may be watching a game. Same way with boxing too. Yeah, I love boxing. But I watch the game for the chess match that it is. I don't get emotionally involved in any player. I do have fun taking jabs at and laughing at you bronzexual niggas. Y'all niggas is fun to laugh at. Because y'all are so emotionally tied into that man, y'all don't even know it. It is so much fun to laugh at you niggas. Just say one thing about LeBron and to watch you niggas sphincters get tight. Y'all niggas nuts turns into pussy holes when LeBron come up. So I purposely bring him up just to piss you off. That's just fun to me though. But I just think it's utterly ridiculous that grown-ass men have man crushes on a man that bounces a ball all day. That's just fucking weird to me. Back when I loved basketball the most, I didn't give a fuck about what Shaq or Kobe did off the court. Just win this game tonight against the Portland Trailblazers. That's all I cared about. Nigga, is we going, back in 2000 when they won that first championship together, only thing I cared about, are we going to beat the Blazers? I didn't give a fuck about Kobe being a father. I didn't give a fuck about Shaq or anything he was endorsing. And this is back when I loved basketball the most. Nigga, let's just watch the game and talk some shit. But outside of what happens on this court, I don't give a fuck about none of these overgrown, tall, ugly ass niggas. But you LeBron fans, oh my God, you niggas is man crushed like a motherfucker. Damn, Bug, one of Jason Black's moderators blocked you. What the fuck for? I appreciate that, Black Avrax. So, if you're going to watch the NFL, watch it with some sense. If you're the kind of person who really love the game and you really into the game, no judgment from me. That's fine. Watch. I get it. I ain't got no issues with that. Just have some sense. Don't let the shit control you. Don't let the shit stop you from winning your goals. Like, because along with the Kaepernick protest, along with that, it wasn't just the NFL. I stopped watching it as much. I watch 80 to 90% less basketball now than I used to. Like I used to like put off what I wanted to do so I can catch this game. Now I don't put off shit that I need to do to catch an NBA game. Now once business is handled, I'm gonna go out there and watch my man KD light niggas up from the mid range. I'm gonna watch my man Harden mix niggas up, Kyrie. And I liked all these players before they got on Brooklyn. They just happened to get on the same team together. Chef Curry. I love watching Chef Curry sauce niggas up. Anthony Davis. I've always been an Anthony Davis fan. Trae Young. Man, that little Chico DeBarge looking nigga right there, Trae Young. That nigga's the truth. If he didn't hurt his ankle, they would have been in the finals. Man, if I get a chance to, if I ain't doing shit, you better goddamn right I'm going to turn on Trae Young saucing niggas up. Goddamn right I'm going to watch that shit. But it ain't going to get in the way of handling business. If business needs to be handled right now and Trae Young is saucing niggas up on the court, I'm going to have to catch you later. I'll catch you next game, Trae. I wasn't like that before 2016. Now I got to get this game in. That's funny, Keith Kelson. That was funny. Nigga being sarcastic. Yeah, now you got Westbrook wearing dresses. This nigga old head dude say you work me on 2K. I don't play 2K like I used to. I'm on 2K. If y'all want to follow me on PlayStation, my name is Fuck You, PHUKYOU. PHUKYOU. I don't really be on like I used to. Like, I like my video games. I haven't gotten to do 2K and Madden, but y'all want to follow me on PlayStation? PHUKYOU. Fuck You is my name. Yes, I was one of the first. I got that because I was on PlayStation Network, right? When that shit was new. They wouldn't let you come up with no name like that now. But yeah, man. Whatever you do it in moderation and don't let it take over what you do. And if sports ain't your thing, you're into other things that take time away from for some people it's comic books. For some people, it's movies. Like I watch sports, but I don't watch too many movies. I don't go to the movies, I should say. I don't watch movies at all too much. I'm really getting into a lot of those comic movies. I never was into comic books, those comic book movies, but I've gotten into them in the last 4 or 5 years because I understand that there are deeper messages behind them. So I watch those type movies to decode them to see what messages are being said. But I don't go to the movies. I went to the movies last week for the first time in over a year. And I ain't talking about because of the COVID pandemic. My last time actually in the movie theater was 2019. Long before the Whoopty Whamps hit. Ty Dollar said for him, his podcast. Yeah, we all got our shit, man. So whatever your shit is, make sure you spend as much time or more time building your shit. Because if you don't, you be back on the plantation with no skills. Don Smith said video game sports are more realistic than sports. I'm not going to argue with you on that, brother. No argument from me here. You dig? You did. That's what I wanted to say to you guys. Look, man. Look at how easily they got us back on the plantation. Jay-Z came back to the NFL and niggas was like, it's a wrap. We can't be so easily distracted, black folks, especially black men. Yes, we are. I take on the responsibility of leadership. But you can't go run around talking about we leaders, we kings, but you don't want to move and walk like a king. You can't take on the identity of leader, but you don't want to move and act like a leader. And a leader don't mean getting a whole bunch of people and coming together and having a protest. And that's not what I'm talking about leader. I'm talking about leading yourself, standing on your square, having integrity. Say what you mean what you say. That's what a real woman respects in a man. It's 11-11, you know it. Oh, that dudes, I don't know much about football cards. But as a man, you say what you mean what you say. When you draw a line in the sand, you dig your cleats in the turf. And you be willing to stand whatever comes your way. Be willing to be lonely and out there on an island on your own. That's manhood. Be willing to say what you have to say while everyone else around you rolls their fucking eyes. That's leadership. But if you don't want that, that's fine too. One thing about Earth, all things are possible. You can live this life however the fuck you want to live it. My thing is just live that within integrity. If your thing is, look, I don't want to be bothered, that's fine too. Don't be bothered. Just live your life how the fuck you want to live it. But it's that fake shit we got to root out of our community. We have to root out the fake shit. The I'm a protest because it look goodism. That shit. I'm gonna do what's popular, what has a popular image, what makes me look good, what raises my profile. Much love, Nino Black. Yeah, you feeling lonely? Hey, that's a good. If you feeling lonely, it's just a start. You're never lonely permanently. That's another thing for those of you out there feeling lonely. Lonely is not a permanent position if you choose it not to be. Lonely is not permanent, but lonely is definitely a major player when you're new to it, when you're new into a new mindset, new ideology, new way of thinking, new way of seeing things. The lonely part is only temporary. You just got to stay true to it. Stay true to it, you will attract others. The law of attraction is real. The law of attraction is real. You meet in life the exact reproduction of your thoughts. That's real. That's right, Aaron. The only thing permanent in life is death. A nigga will die one day. That's the goddamn truth. Your heartbeat, that's permanent as long as you're living. You breathing in and out, that's permanent. The need to scratch your nuts every now and again, that's going to be permanent. No matter how old you are, you're going to scratch your balls every now and again. Outside of that, Ain't shit permanent. And once you scratch your balls, that ain't permanent no more. You good for a little bit. But learn to love solitude. Look, it's good to be in solitude. It's good to be in the dark. Your best creations are going to come in the dark, in solitude. Too graphic, Star. My bad, Star. My bad, Star. I don't want to piss off my Star. That's my mom. Star's my nigga, right? I don't want to piss you off. My bad. But yeah. You meet in life the exact reproduction of your thoughts. When you change your mindset, change your ideology, it's going to be lonely for a little bit, but that loneliness is a blessing. Look at that loneliness as a blessing. That loneliness gives you time to sort out your thoughts and get clear and be clear. That loneliness gives you space to write down what you really want. And because at the end of the day, life is whatever we make it to be. We create it. Every day we wake up, we're creating. The problem is when you're bought into the illusion of this matrix, when you're bought into the fear, when you're brought into the programming, you write a story every day that you don't necessarily want to read because you're writing someone else's story. When the news dictates how you act, you're writing someone else's story. When you're doing something because it's popular and you're doing ice bucket challenges and crate challenges because it's popular, someone ringing my doorbell. Oh, that's Amazon. Oh, shit. Okay, cool. Amazon just dropped off my dry fire rounds and my quick reload for my Smith & Wesson 38 special. That's another thing, brothers. Keep yourself protected at all times. I just got myself a new Smith & Wesson 38 special with no hammer so it don't snag in your pockets. 5-shooter. I just ordered a quick reload for it and some dry fire rounds so I could practice in the garage with that trigger. Get used to that trigger pull. But you're right, Guru Cam. Your darkest times are your best times for manifesting. Yeah. That's right, old head Deuce. That's a dope story you had right there, brother. Magnetic said, look, it ain't Tuesday. Hi, y'all niggas is funny. Hell yeah, from Amazon. Amazon, you can get your dry fire rounds and your auto reloads. Matter of fact, the gun stores, I went to Redstone Firearms. Man, this past Thursday, man. I drove way down to Orange County. You can't find 38 special ammo nowhere. I went to 7 gun shops before I finally found something. And all they had was FMJs. I need some hollow points. I got about 500 rounds of them FMJs, but shit. But they didn't have no quick reload for my 38. So they was all like, man, go on Amazon. And then I went down to Redstone Firearms. They had some 38 ammo, but still full metal jacket. That's some shooting range rounds. I need some hollow points for the house. They didn't have quick reloads nowhere, so I had to order that shit off Amazon. Y'all not gonna see me on here. I won't be doing too much broadcasting. I think I'll be at Craig Facts for a little bit on Tuesday. But I'm not gonna be doing too much broadcasting this week. Me and the wife about to take a road trip. I'm gonna check in on YouTube. I may do some quick live Q&As, quick, real like short shit, just to keep the algorithm going. Cause one thing about YouTube, you take a week off, these motherfuckers don't want to send out notifications for shit when you come back. And please share the videos too, man, because it's like no matter how much my following grows, my views are staying the same. YouTube got mad at my last broadcast and age restricted it, talking about 9/11. They don't want people under 18 to not understand the history and the context of fear-based propaganda. So they restricted my last video. And they've been doing, Facebook has really been fucking, I'm not Facebook, well, Facebook has been fucking with me too. But YouTube has really been fucking with me. So we beat that by you guys sharing this shit. You said every guns is rifle. I got my shotgun too now. Don't trip. But you know, for the house, you're right, Sylvester. You want the hollow points for the crib. You don't want shit going through the walls. You want that shit to hit its target and explode up in that motherfucker. Oh yes, please stock up. Good advice, Bug Sheldon. Stock up on food and water. As a matter of fact, I'm going to the Costco Business Center tomorrow to start. I already got a bunch of water, but I'm about to buy a fuck ton more. So yeah, y'all not gonna see me on here as much over the next week and a half. And my cousin that's coming to house sit, you know the fuck you are. You better not be having no goddamn parties in my crib while I'm gone. I know you ain't. I'm not gonna put your name out there. You probably know yourself. Yeah. Again, I'm playing, but I ain't playing, nigga. Don't be having no goddamn parties in my house. And you know where the shotgun is, just in case somebody want to trip. Yeah. I'm be mad at them. I got cameras in this motherfucker too. I'm be mad at the motherfucker if I'm in Texas, and I look at the camera in his house, and I see my cousin over here throwing shindigs. Like, I'm gonna get on the intercom like, "Hey, nigga, all you motherfuckers out my house." Be like that nigga on Police Academy. Remember the dude that had all them voices? Come in with the police helicopter sound and the siren. All of you niggas hearing my cousin, get the fuck out my house. This isn't his, this is mine. But that nigga, hell nah, you ain't shit, old head dudes. Nah. Better not be no goddamn parties at my house when I'm gone. Shit. But yeah, that's what I wanted to get to y'all. I want to that nigga said house sitting don't hit the same with all these Ring cameras. You goddamn right. I got cameras all around my place. I don't have any inside, but I did buy some for inside for this week, so I can see what this motherfucker doing while I'm gone. I got some inside cameras on this week, goddamn it. It ain't gonna be no goddamn parties in my crib. Nigga. But yeah, man. Remember this, man. Give yourself the attention that you give these sports. No, I did not touch on the NFL Players Association selling them out because That's a good question, Bug Shelton, but there's no reason for me to touch on the NLPA selling the players out. No reason to talk about it because, hey, at the end of the day, the NFL, the people watch. The players can't do anything if the people don't back them. You know? I never put too much attention on the players because a player that's 25, 27 years old has been tuned to only play football since they were 7, 6, 8 years old. That cake is already baked. They're actually playing. That's how they make their money. So I wasn't looking on the players to do much. That's what the players needed our help. And we had a good thing going in 2016 had we stayed consistent. You saw the NFL did make some. The NFL brought back dancing. They brought all the things the NFL was saying they couldn't do before the protest. They started doing. What if the people said, okay, yeah, you can bring back end zone celebrations, but what about these cops killing black folks? We probably would have had everything we wanted by now. It wouldn't have took long if we just stood on our square. Everything we wanted, we could have probably had by now had we stood on our square. So I'm not going to get into the role the NFLPA played versus the players. I'm putting this back on us as the people, as the fans, as the people who consume the sport. Black people, and I also don't want to hear black folks say, well, we don't have the numbers. We've never had the numbers in this country, but what we do have is the power and the sway, the influence of the culture. When black people stop saying something is cool, guess what? That shit stops being cool. Baseball was everywhere in the 80s. My generation came along and said, man, fuck baseball. Started playing basketball and football. Now no one gives a fuck about baseball except for people who watch baseball every day. And most of them niggas is old as fuck, above 87 years old. Most niggas that watch baseball now was around when the Negro leagues were still around. So niggas don't watch NASCAR, so nobody gives a fuck about NASCAR except NASCAR fans. I put football in the section of hockey. That's where I put football. Like my two sports I watch the most is boxing and basketball. To me, the NFL is now like hockey. It's a sport. Cool. But guess what? On New Year's Day, whenever they have that hockey match that's outside, I love that shit. I think it's New Year's Day, whenever they have a hockey match and it's in a baseball or a football stadium outside, it's something hella cool about that dynamic. I'm going to watch that hockey game, the outside hockey game. Hell, sometimes I watch the Stanley Cup playoffs, especially a few years ago back when the Kings won the Stanley Cup out of LA. Nigga, I watched them Stanley Cup games. I didn't give it any emotional energy, but it was just dope to see an LA team. I'm putting NFL in the section of baseball. I don't fuck with baseball like that. But every now and again, I'll go to a Dodger game. I watched the Dodgers win the World Series last year because I love LA. I love LA. So, nigga, if the LA... But I've always hated the Rams, though. Even though the Rams are here, I didn't like the Rams when they were in LA the first time because it was back in Orange County. I was more of an LA Raiders fan. But the Raiders are still around, you know, but that's what football is to me. I treat it the way I would treat baseball and hockey. If I ain't doing shit, if I've been productive, and I just need some fuck off time and the shit happens to be on and it looks interesting, I may turn it on or I may not. Yeah. We don't invent new sports. Black folks don't need to be inventing any new sports. Black folks don't need to be starting our own sports league. None of that shit. Sports and leagues you build those things when you're at your proper position within the society. Before black people create leagues and build sports teams, we need to own water rights to the cities we live in. Allentown, LA, California, Allensworth, California, Blacktown, just north of Bakersfield. Star know what I'm talking about. They got shut down because ultimately the people poisoned the water. They put arsenic in the water of the people. So they had to move and relocate to Bakersfield and Fresno in LA. Black people need to be figuring out how to get water retention rights before we've learned how to open up a goddamn league. We need our own pilots. We need to be figuring out how to get our own hospitals that we own, control, and run. Not a white-run hospital put in the middle of the ghetto like Killer King. They just kill your ass. We need to have black-owned hospitals run by black professionals and black doctors who care. That's what we need before we start our own league. We need our own black ambulance services. We need to focus on opening up, getting our kids in these trades to where we don't have to outsource a body shop to the Russians. Here now, I don't know how it is in your city, but all the body shops, if your car gets bumped, most of those are owned by Russians out here, and Persians, Armenians. If you want your car audio done, you got to go to the Mexicans. They got the car audio on lock. You want your car fixed, you got to go to a Hope. You got the Mexicans, you got the Russians, the Persians. They all own the car shops around here. We got to get back to owning those basic things before we think about starting up a league. I'm fine with black people not starting up a league. The league comes after we've secured everything else. See, back in the days of the Negro League, we had our own economy. We had our own businesses. We had our own bus lines. Because the only way to support a league is through the businesses. Yes, ticket sales are one thing, but the reason why Bob Johnson's ownership of the Charlotte Bobcats was not successful and he had to sell was because the businesses didn't support. How do businesses support? Naming rights. When the Bobcats are around, no one wanted to put their name on that arena. So that means the ticket sales got to pay that mortgage. But if you get naming rights, that pay all that shit. AT&T Arena, American Airlines Arena, Staples Center here in LA. The SoFi Stadium over here. A team needs the support of its business class in order to operate properly. If we don't have black businesses putting in billions and billions of dollars a year, the league is going to crumble under its own weight. See, when we had the Negro leagues, you had the black policy men, the numbers pushers, who could support those and donate and put money in those organizations. You had people who owned chains of barbershops. We had our own grocery stores that can sell sponsorships. We had all that. So yeah, we could afford to open up a Negro, even though we were under the system of white supremacy and being very oppressed at the time. We still had our own economies that were independent of white society. We don't have that anymore. So before we get to talking about opening up our own leagues and shit, we gotta get everything else handled first. But I got a long day today. I'm about to get up out of here. Hollywood Bowl tonight. They're doing the Black Panther movie live score. I wasn't a big fan of the Black Panther movie, but I love the Hollywood Bowl when they bring out these live orchestras to play music to the movies. That should be so dope. Because I'm a music. Oh, I love music. Music just feel good. Thank you for everybody that subscribes to my Mixcloud. live DJing mixes. We had a dope Funk Fridays. That's going to be posted for you soon. We had a dope Funk Fridays where I played a little bit of Parliament. I played a lot of good ass shit. I'm not going to have my Soul Sunday tonight because I'll be at the Hollywood Bowl. I won't have it next Sunday because I won't be in town. And the following Sunday, I'll be at Hollywood Bowl again. But after that, starting in October, well, the first Sunday in October, I'm going to have my Mixcloud Soulful Sundays live music mixed down. So go to Mixcloud right now, download the app and turn your notifications on. The link is in my bio. Hey, Larry's in the chat room. Fuck you. Go and subscribe to Larry's channel. Because he's a B.I.S.Niche. Thank you, Dr. Sanderson, for joining Friday. Yeah, I played some Ice Cube. I played all that shit. I played some originals and the remakes, different songs, and we talk music over on Mixcloud. Again, I say I hate to have you guys go to multiple platforms. I would love to do that show here on YouTube, but YouTube does not allow you to play music. Mixcloud worked out a way to where you can play music, and every song that I play, the artist gets credit for. The same way it would be if I played it on the radio. So it's a win-win for everybody. We get to listen to the music, and the artist gets paid for the music being played. Again, like I said, I hate to have you guys do multiple platforms, but hey, gotta do it if you want to get in with that music stuff. But thank y'all again for joining. And remember this, and get my t-shirts and all that shit. Go to my Mixcloud. My whole world is on my link tree in my description box. Remember this, there are no perfect messengers. Only perfect messages for those who are willing to pick up the game. My name is Dwann B. We out.